Okay, so while that thing continues to do its thing over there, I have something else here I want to take a quick look at. This was something that I had bought. I had planned to do something with it. Never got around to actually doing that. I don't know why. Oh wait, you know what? I do remember. This was going to be a server slash workstation, and I ended up finding a case for it, but when I bought the case, it didn't come with the tray that this motherboard sits on. So I had to find that tray, and the only way that I could find the tray is if I bought one that was already attached to a motherboard. So long story short, I bought one that was on there, and now this one doesn't fit into that case because I already have one in it. So this ended up being a little project that I had put together, just, you know, messing around with it. It turned out to be decent. It ran for a while. I kind of stopped using it. Ended up just basically taking this and really robbing things from it as I needed. I ended up taking the GPU out of it. I took the original CPU that I had in it. I took it out and I put this one in it because I didn't have another place to put that CPU. This RAM is this the... No, this isn't even the original RAM that was in it. So whenever I got the RAM that was out of here and moved into that other system, the RAM that was left over I put back into here. So pretty much this is really just a Frankenstein build here. It's kind of got a little bit of stuff from this, a little bit of stuff from that. I built this little small table for it to set on. More or less just hacked this right out of the back of an old case that was beat up. I hacked this out of the front of a case that was beat up because I wanted to put a CD drive in there. This came out of the back of the same case. I used that to put the power supply in with. And so basically just kind of threw all this together just for something. And then I was going to use it as maybe as a test bench for things, but just figured that was not going to be something that I really wanted to do. Just the age of this thing really doesn't play out very well, you know, with newer programs, newer games and things of that nature. So even if I did drop something in here, and like if it was a really awesome GPU and tried to run tests against, you know, newer games on it, or tests in newer games on this thing, it would just not be that great. So like I said, after robbing all of the decent stuff out of this thing, I ended up with just the leftovers. And so I kind of want to take this thing that's pretty much, I guess, at the bottom of its barrel currently, and probably grab some different parts and see what I can see what I can make out of this. At this point, I'm leaning towards possibly putting Linux on here. Maybe maybe one of the different flavors of Ubuntu, or something along those lines. I don't know. Still thinking about what I'm going to do with it. Haven't decided yet, but it will definitely be something like that. I want to go ahead, though, while I'm waiting for this other thing to go on, and just play around with this for a bit. I'm going to drop the cooler that I had back onto here. We're going to grab one of these janky SSDs that I've got laying around. We're going to install something on it. Probably just install whatever I have on one of those flash drives over there, just to get it up and running and see how it goes. And as time goes on, I might end up changing that out for a different OS. I might change to, you know, I heard Pop OS was doing good. Might try Elementary. This might just be a rig that I hang on to just to try different flavors of Linux. That might be what I end up doing with it. I don't know. We'll see though. But I definitely wanted to do something with it. This is kind of why I wanted the desk to be over here, so that way I could put the camera pointed in a way that you can see what's going on here whenever I'm doing things. So put definitely too much of that on there. Let's go ahead and go overkill with it, because why not? You know, see if we can trigger anybody on the internet today. Who knows? And then this thing, oh, this thing is beautiful. I love it. Now, was it Wish? Wish is where I got this thing from. And it was fantastic. I actually had this installed on here with the X5670. I think it was the 5670. And I had taken the fans off of it. And this thing cooled so well, even without the fans on it. Well, this side over here is not wanting to catch. There it is. Now I've got it. Put that one in. There we go. Alright. So this goes back, and I had... Oh, did I take my adapter off? I must have did. You know what though? Actually, what I'm thinking of, since this thing is going to be more of a I don't know if I want to say permanent, but long-lasting, long-standing. I don't know. It's not going to be something that I end up just running for a few minutes, so probably wouldn't hurt anything at all if I ran each of these fans to their own fan header using this little fan board here. Starting to see all the different fun, fantastic colors of this thing. I'm starting to remember why I did this like this, which is also fine, because I could still end up using this just in a different way. I'll run it up like so. I can still wrap these cords like so. Let's see if this works first before I get that far into it. So basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to attach this to the side of here with this screw. That way I can plug each of these in to their own fan header like so. So let's go ahead and do that and make sure that wherever I put it at, I actually end up having enough room to do so. Oh yeah, I can pretty much go anywhere I want to over here with this thing now. Let me go ahead and mark my space here. Alright, I'll move that out of my way. And what I like to do here, run this screw in a little ways just to kind of drill that out. There we go. So now I've got the hole in place. And I can just about put this in by hand if I wanted to. Now, I don't really want to because it's much faster to do it this way, but it gives me a better idea of what I'm doing, how far I am, so that I don't actually end up pulling this too tight and breaking this board in some way. So that's in there. I've got this about as good as it's going to get, I believe. Not that it's going to matter a whole lot because you're basically going to see the entirety of this board anyways. And even these sleeved cables aren't sleeved all the way up to the top, so this little bit's not going to matter that much. I didn't snip that. So anyways, I'm going to pull one of these around, see which one of these fits here better. Maybe this one. It's already turned the right way. Plug it in. That is not very stable. Did I not pull it in enough? I don't want to pull it in too much. Guess that's going to be as good as it's going to get unless I take the sticky paper off the back to hold it into place, but I don't feel like doing that at the moment. First, we got to make sure this thing's going to turn on. I am going to need some type of display out of this thing, and it doesn't really matter if it's a good one or not. I just love how everything's just stored in a drawer over here. It's fantastic. If for some reason my thing here was ever picked up and shaken, probably all of that would be no good anymore. And all the fans came on again. GPU came on. Let's see if we are getting anything on screen. So it's going to go through here. It's going to find out that there's actually no drives at all installed on this thing. Take this one just because I have SATA cords laying around here. Let's see. Front panel not detected. Of course, it's not even in a case. Alright, so we'll go down to Linux distros. What have I got on here? I got Debian, Ubuntu, Lubuntu, and Linux Mint. Let's go with Ubuntu for now. Alright, so Ubuntu is coming up. So it shows the processor Intel Xeon Arc CPU E5504 at 2 gigahertz X4, so 4 cores, 2 gigahertz. That sounds about right. I think that's what that was. Graphics card says AMD Turks. Close enough, I guess. This one was fairly decent at the time that I got it. It definitely worked for what I had gotten it for at that time, but with the current standard of games and things out there, I would not expect this to do quite literally anything. So it's basically been reduced to a display adapter just for something like this when I just wanted to show something on the screen. Very interesting. So this is still not recognizing that even though I restarted, so something else is going on here. Alright, so thanks to this camera's ability to randomly turn itself off, missed a whole bunch of stuff, but that's okay. During the time that it was down, this SSD ended up, well, this PC rebooted and booted to this SSD instead of my flash drive, at which point I realized that the copy of Windows that was on here was the copy that I was using temporarily. I had put together a basically temp solution for an office PC while I was upgrading my other one. So I actually need to keep that not being Linux. I need Windows to stay on there for now so that I can actually back up all of my documents that I had on it from there. So I grabbed another SSD out of the other system, and that's what we're going to use to install Linux onto. I have another one of these SSDs. I was using these in my hot swap bays over there, but this particular one, the Acclimator brand, it has similar stats to these King DN ones that were also on Amazon, but I have not had the same issue with these, at least thus far, as what I have had with those. These tend to work, at least as far as what I've had experience with them, tend to work as they did for as long as I've had them, which I've had them about the same length of time as those. So even if this stopped working today, it still outlasted that one. It's been a while since I've updated any of these flash drives, so I'm going to end up needing to update my Windows install. Going to need to end up updating my Linux for probably all of those versions that I have on there, as well as add a couple of the other ones that I don't actually have on it. It is installing now, so that one is doing what it's doing. There it goes. Oh, is this gonna have to do some downloading anyways? Alright, so looks like it's gonna have to do a little bit of downloading. As I've said before, my internet is not fantastic, so I will, I suppose, have to get back with you guys after it's done downloading everything that it needs to download. So I'll see you in a minute.
I am not 100% for sure why, but somehow or another, whilst I was away, something happened to the audio, and none of that was recorded for this section of the video. I did finish getting Linux installed. I went back and connected to the server, searched for some files to put on to the hard drive, or well, not the hard drive, the SSD for this system, and I opened up a couple of apps, I think Terminal and possibly some other things. I don't remember exactly what all I did, but overall, everything turned out fine, seemed to work pretty much exactly how I had expected it to. And after that, I basically shut it down, and that was it. I was done with it for temporarily. It will be something I will end up coming back to later, but as of right now, not so much. So anyways, again, I apologize for the audio issues, but if you like these videos, give me the thumbs up. If you dislike these videos, give it the thumbs down, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more. Ring the bell notification to get yourself notifications for when new videos come out, and I'll catch you on the next video. Thank you.